Hi, welcome to another video in our personalizedArtGallery.com series. Always kind of want to start you here to keep you reminded about the great resources and all the training materials that you can find here at this site. But when you want to go to create a print, you simply click on the login button. I'm already logged in, but you would normally be prompted to enter your username and password here. In our previous videos, we've covered the basic navigation of how to get the kind of searches that you want, plus covering just the real basics of creating your first print with our fill in the blank and clickable technology. And now I'm going to show you a little bit more of the advanced features of specifically our letter art. Again, in those previous videos, I said, you can get them from a big category picture. Here's a letter art one. You can go under the more art to the letter art and click a particular theme. I'm going to go right to most popular. This changes a lot, and I know it's very subjective, but truly, if you're looking for a basic, great family piece, this very, very first one, sepia ribbon with inspirational words, is really just great and classic. We sell more of this than anything else. Certainly feel free to play around. We've got tons of theme backgrounds and everything else, but I really want to point out that this one is just a really great, easy one, classic, great seller to get to, again, either by going more art, themed, most popular, or this background is, never know if that word is sepia or sepia, but you can type in S-E-P-I-A. You can also get the right to be matte. So here's everything that we have in our sepia collection. So I'm going to go back to it. This one's really easy to make. It's a simple, typically a last name print. I'm going to type in Wagner in this particular case, and then click the preview button. A basic set of letters always comes up. It's always the same W and the same A and the same G. Usually very popular options for each letter, but making the simple clicks is how you kind of go through and make the changes. You see at the top, there are words here on this particular design that say tears, faith, prayer, hugs and kisses. The top, memory, smiles, laughter, and joy. If you don't happen to like those, every once in a while we hear kind of a religious objection. We do have this virtually identical design and just some swirls without all those words. Those particular words are not changeable. One of the few options prints that aren't. This is one of our most popular and first items. We haven't changed it. We've made some alternatives, but I just wanted to show you our most popular one. But if you notice, here it says text for field 1, text for field 2. Here it says like the Wagner family. You can make options. You could take out the word the, and in the family category, it could be like David and Dawn for David and Dawn Wagner. You could put a wedding date there. You could take them out completely. Again, we keep the default kind of simple and clean, but you certainly can make some modifications to the print. So here, you've probably seen this in other videos, but by simply clicking on the letter, and then you can move this around. So if you kind of want to have more of a view of the whole collection. When I do the sepia background, yeah, sometimes I pull themes and I might go, oh yeah, this guy loves to fish, or oh, these wine corks are cool. But many cases, people are just looking for a really nice artistic piece. And so you might want to click letters that just kind of look really good, nice and neutral with the background. Kind of clicking on some of my favorites here. I really like this church entryway for this background. I think that one's a really nice option. More toward the bottom, you'll see what I lovingly call cheater letters. We got these requests later after the popularity of this concept grew. Now the cheater letters are usually kind of famous letters. This is the famous Chicago Theater, or their Las Vegas signs, or Disney World signs. But some people don't always want to play the Where's Waldo game and try to guess what things are. But I do kind of like this rich archway too. So, but cheater letters kind of look nice mixed in between. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So I'm going to quickly go through. I really like this G, so I'm going to do a cheater G. Some people say, oh, do you need more of this letter or that letter? Or sometimes we have more cheaters. Sometimes it's really hard to find things in nature that make a letter. Like R's are really difficult to find something in nature that's of that letter. See, now then my G, I feel, looks a little squatty compared to my N. So I'm going to go back and find a different G. So this is kind of how I at least build it. I go through and I pick all the letters I like. Now, I like this E, so I think I'm going to keep it. Piano keys are also another popular one, and we've got lots of different variations of the piano keys. I'm going to scroll through, but when you're first learning, it's really kind of important to go through, or again, maybe you're keeping this neutral and simple, but maybe the guy really is into the guitar. So you want to kind of get to know your letters. And I'll give you a little heads up. All the newest letters show up on the bottom. So sometimes it makes sense if you got some time to kind of scroll down and check out what's at the bottom of the list to really see what's there. Like I said, when I build this, most customers like their letter art in color. So I try to find things that are kind of neutral and kind of blend all together when I do the creation. So I think this looks really, really nice as is. I've added kind of a personal element, maybe if this person likes to play the guitar or music's really important to them. But let's see, let me get a little funky and fun. Say I chose, for whatever silly reason, my lollipop. I'm just going to pick my funky. Yes, I have funky letters. People do seem to love them though. And maybe I want this ladybug. We're going to get a little fun here. I'm trying to find some kind of wild color stuff. Maybe for some reason the grapes are really speaking to me. This artistically color-wise, not so good, I don't think. But the customer might really feel this speaks to them. So I do something I call the grape neutralizer. Now we're on the sepia or sepia background. If I wanted to make just one letter sepia, I would click on the individual letter and click this button, but I want to neutralize all the letters that are here. So I'm going to click this sepia all and see how it changed everything. So still not a fan of my lollipop, but it kind of neutralized it out. So we do get customers all the time that say, oh, my son likes to play football, my daughter's a ballerina, and they really, really get a lot of joy combining lots of passions and interests into their last name. And sometimes it gets out of hand, so I kind of like these options there for that reason. If you notice when you select it, there's also the options of gray and grayscale, that means black and white, or if you made a selection that you're not really happy with now, then you can go ahead and click the step back button. So that's the basics on that. Now, we have some kind of advanced features, which I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick. I'm going to kind of start over. So I'm hitting that sepia button at the very, very top, that little search that I was doing. Okay, maybe I'll go this way. I'm going to go to just the generic letter art panoramic. I think I bogged my computer down. And I'm going to choose, just to show you that alternative option. This is the one of the designs I was talking about that doesn't have the all the text. So now, say maybe I wanted for some reason to enter a picture. So I'm going to literally type a space bar, or you could click any stroke on the keyboard. And when you hit the preview, you get a little blank. Now it can depend on your operating system. Mine kind of shows it as this little tiny box, and you can see everything moved over. When I click on it, I do of course have the option to go to the letter art library, and I could do a couple different things here. I can go to characters, and there's all kinds of little things. Here you can see it says love or heart. I could have typed 2 short words and joined them with an ampersand. Maybe I wanted to put in a graduation year or an anniversary date. Lots of little, or at the beginning I could have done like the Jacobs family. All kinds of neat little things that you might need. Apostrophe S. Okay, there's already an S there. But a lot of little enhancements are already predetermined for you under the Characters tab. Now, say for example, I wanted to maybe put in a personal photo. All I would have to do is click on it, in case you didn't see it, is that Choose File, and it's going to navigate you to your computer. I did not set this up ahead of time. I don't think I need to waste the time in the video to show you, you would go to a picture file and it would upload into that section. Honestly, it's not a feature very popularly used, but I wanted to let you know that that was available. In case that's something that you want to add, because that does happen. Usually if you want to add a photo, you want to do one of our great photo collection pieces, and there's a different training video to show you about that. So since I kind of started this, I certainly want my 2 S's. I'm just going to add this pretty little flower. I'm going to go ahead and do create print, create image. Spinning yellow wheel means it's saved for later. You've probably heard me say this way too much. The click the download button means that you've actually paid for it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. I have a Mac, so things are a little bit different. As you can see, it comes up the serial number with lots of zeros. You may want to rename it. So I'm going to say the Jacob sample. And I'm going to have it go to my downloads file. Usually when I at least set people up, I have it kind of automatically open up to that, so you don't have to go through what I just went through. But here, as you can see, it's now opened up. And I can go print it. Adobe Acrobat Reader is the file you want to print from. I cannot actually do a demonstration of that piece here right now because I have a Mac, which I love, but the print screen looks very, very different on a Mac than it does on a PC, which most of you have. So we're going to create a different video about the multiple steps in printing. It is actually a very simple process. There are directions in the printable direction sheets. You've probably been trained on that specifically by me over the phone or in person. But I can remind you at this point that every time you do a print, you go to the Properties tab, and it's always, I call it the big three. You want to make sure you tell it it's a photo. You make sure that you do the right type of paper, which is any kind of photo paper, but you specifically have the kinds ending in the word luster. And finally, make sure that you check the right size, whether it's the long skinny, in this case, the 6x18, or other design, the 13x16. And finally, at least on a PC, you'll get to a print preview screen. As long as the picture looks like it's filled up the entire thumbnail, you are ready to print on the tacky side of the paper we provide, not the really, really slick side, but the pearly kind of tacky side facing out. But we'll have another training video on printing. So those are some of the advanced features of our letter art designs. Thank you again for taking the time with us, and have fun.